Oh, no need password.
Yeah, no need password.
Am I on the screen?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Zoom. So we're going to have a very quick sessions because the time is limited. So so hopefully everybody can come in on time. It's already 7:30, and I'd just like everyone to help to mute your your mic so that much no speaking. Can everybody hear me? Right. So for those who are having your mic on, maybe you can help me by muting your mic. Let me see whether I can mute everybody. So there's a birthday girl or boy. Okay. So again, if you can hear me, please help me to mute your mic so that we can start off. And yeah.
Okay, ready. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Sing already that. Okay, Papa sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, finish. Bang. What happened? What is the slider? Is it a slider? Okay, blow properly.
Okay. Okay, let's start. I hope that everybody can hear me. So we shall look at the market today. So in fact, today is quite an exciting day because the market has STI has went up by a very strong whooping 95 points. Right, but unfortunately, this 95 points does not reflect the whole market because we can see a very strong change of sector. So there's a very strong sector change by all the by some institutions. Like for example, there is a strong selling in the tech sector and the REIT, especially those that are dealing with data center and those that are dealing with logistic. Okay, so but the banks, the property, and some of the transports has been going up. Like for example, we have this SIA going up. Then we have these sets that's going up. Okay. Then of course, ComfortDelGro is also very strong. So let me try to mute one by one. So just in case for those who not sure whether we have already started still singing song. So we can let the rest. Okay. So basically what we are looking at is a very strong showing, in fact, from the banks. Right, so DBS in fact went up by more than 5%. Right, we have a 6.3%. OCBC has a very strong closing at 943, right, up by 3.6%, and then UOB went up by 3%. So this also helped to push the. This helped to push the index higher, and we have, of course, we have the property sectors, CapitaLand. Right. If you were to follow my email closely, CapitaLand was one of my highlights in one of my email that the entry was at 255. right, and or rather 257 around here, and today actually went up to 277, close at 277, very strong. So the next resistance is actually at 283. So for those who are still holding it, you can actually aim for 283, which is a very strong resistance. You can see the resistance being tested 3 times. Okay, this is a support. This was a support, turn resistance, tested 3 times. And if the rally continues, you can see that it was likely to hit 283. Now, why the market has a very strong rally? I believe everybody already read the news. The vaccine from Pfizer is 90% successful, and then this is where it triggered a very strong buying for the demand for the property sectors, the banking, and of course to be able to buy them. I believe that some institute has triggered a selling on some of the counters that they have held before. For example, Sheng Siong, for example, this Mapletree Logistics, Mapletree Industrial Capital, DC REIT, AEM, UMS. Of course, all these counters yesterday actually had a very good run, just yesterday, until the COVID news was announced, the vaccine news rather, the vaccine news was announced. So let's cheer the property sectors and the banking sectors and to see how high they can go. So for CapitaLand, the resistance is at 2.83. For those who are holding CapitaLand, congratulations to you. Of course, we have City Development. So when I was about to highlight CapitaLand, I was looking through the property sectors and try to pick which are the counters that giving me higher confidence of going up. So between CapitaLand and CityDev, I actually had to pick one. So I actually chose CapitaLand because it is still a big conglomerate that doesn't have any family firm fightings, etc. So basically, you can see that although CityDev went down quite badly because of the resignation of one of the director, which is one of the family member, but it managed to rebound strongly. And the next target for City Development is actually at 740. So so if all these property counters actually hit their resistance, the next to look out for is actually the signs of a change in trend. So if you miss this round, not to be despair, because if there is a potential change in trend, it will pull back and then form a higher low. So to speak is something like that. You probably may miss this rally, this rebound, and then definitely there will be some pullback. So your next chance is going to be, in fact, on the pullback. So if you worry about this pullback, whether it's real or fake, well, it doesn't matter, you let it rebound. So you continue to wait until you see the support get tested again. Then this is where you can, in fact, take a position to trade into the counter. Of course, you would say that, oh, this could be a hindsight, but then if history can repeat by itself going forward, it can. So you can see historically it has done so, and it will repeat over again and again and again, no matter how it will move. So you can see the chart, it is always higher high, higher low when it's going uptrend. So if you miss this round, never mind, just wait for a pullback. If the market is going to continue to rally on that winning of Biden, of course, many suggested that because Biden won the election, the properties, the old school economy is going to blossom because he is an old school guy. So all the techs and all the e-commerce is going to be lesser emphasis. I would think that this is not entirely the fact, because the past 4 years there's so much evolution in the technology that he can no longer so-called ignore, right? So he has to focus, like for example 5G, right? How do you not focus on 5G, for example, right? So all these are the evolution of time where he has to accept and then and support it as well. But nevertheless, this is where we are looking at the CityDev going up higher. So of course we have other property counters that owned by big guns, like for example Vichoyao's UOL, has also rocket up, break past resistance, hit the next resistance. And then of course, let's look at some of the other counters. Most of the property counters has gone up. Bukit Sembawang, even the laggers like Fraser Property, yeah, you went up, but not as strong as CapitaLand and CityDev. So this UOL as well. So this tells us that if let's say you want to pick bottom, right, the best counters to pick are actually CapitaLand, CityDev, and UOL. Then we probably will see higher, faster return. So whenever there is a big market corrections on all the property counters, this is where we should focus on these three first. Then of course we can look at the transport, right? The ComfortDelGro has been pressed down, right, quite badly, and finally today it actually have the breaks out happening. So I actually had my chart drawn like this. So this is called a downtrend line. So you can see that if the stocks were to break above this downtrend line, so this means that a change of trend could be coming. So this is a very good sign for ComfortDelGro. The next is if it can form the next higher low and then start to go up with more conviction where volume starts to pick up, then this is where we have a chance to get into this ComfortDelGro and of course make profit out of this. Now, of course, the natural progression is to have a nice pullback so that other buyers can come in and join the party so that we have more strength, more sustainable upside. This is part and parcel of trading. If let's say the stocks were to just continue one straight line, of course sooner or later the buyer would start to dry up, and then buyers will start to turn seller and the stock price will start to decline. So if without an institution buying, supporting, and starting to or rather continuing buying, the counter in fact is very hard to sustain. So this brings me back to the banking sector. Why? Because if you were to look at the banking sector over here, you can see that the DBS Bank has gone up one straight line, right? So the last time it had gone up one straight line was here, and here had happened again. So of course, if you look at how it went up one straight line in the past, then you will guess what will happen next. It always happens. So somehow or rather, it always happens. It's not like it is a magic to it, but then history repeats itself. So when you see one straight line upward movement, so what happened next? Of course, you will know. So if you are holding DBS, do watch out, because history, no matter how good is the market, will repeat by itself. And this is where for those who doesn't have the bank, you know what to do, because a lot of opportunity when it start to correct, this is where you can start to pick up the bank and be a bank owner, and and this is I think very near soon, because I don't think the banks will go up one straight line. If DBS can fly up to $26, $27 in these few days, hits off to it, but then of course the next will be waiting is I will be waiting for the opportunity to scoop low, right? So if you were to remember, for those who have been joining the webinar regularly, or rather the Zoom regularly, and have been following me, so you remember one session, one of it, I talk about a sure win strategy. So what is this sure win strategy? You go to US market, you turn on SPY, S&P 500 ETF. Whenever it down by 10%, what do you just need to do? You just need to buy, okay? So for example here, 10% down, buy. So after that, right, you will make your profit. So if the stocks goes down by, or the index goes down by almost 10%, buy. And then what happened next? So it's just like a no-brainer. Now, of course, if you were to say that, hey, if I buy and it continues to sell down like much, how? Well, you, like I say the other time, you actually, if every 10% or 9% around there, you just buy, you only basically historically it is proven that you only just need to buy 6 times. Every time down like 10%, you buy. Every time down by 10%, you buy. So you only need to do it 6 times. Why? Because during the Lehman Brothers crisis, it was 60 to 65% down. So every 10% you divide by 6, you divide by 60 divided by 10, rather, sorry, 60 divided by 10 is 6 times. So you only need to prepare to buy 6 times and then just wait for the market to rebound. So far it has been true all these years. So whether Biden be the new president will change all this, I'm not too sure, but I'm willing to take a chance. Why? Because S&P 500 is 500 diversified company that I'm buying, and this ETF has already is helping me to do that. Okay, so basically this is the thing that you can do. So same, why I'm going through that is because same for DBS, right? For this, DBS is the strongest bank in the world, and this is one of the best bank in the world. So basically when you pull back, that will be an opportunity for you to grab some buy some position when it goes down and then accumulate slowly, and this is what I did. And then today I happily offload some position and then take some profit. Along the way I got dividend from DBS, happily enjoying the dividend. So this is one of the money making opportunity that I hope everybody can capture, right? So it's a no-brainer. It's like it's almost sure win in the stock market. It's just time. You just take time for you to realize the profit. Of course, whether you make a lot or make less depend on your position size. It depends on how much you can invest, and then how much you are willing to invest. Of course, how much you're willing to risk, right? So of course, we won't say that it is no risk. There is still some risk involved. It's just that it will take some time for us to realize this so-called profit. So moving forward, let's look at the other sectors, like all the sectors that are selling down. These are fundamentally strong sectors with no bad news. In fact, they are projecting higher earnings next quarter, like for example, AEM. Right. So today was a surprise that it caught everybody off guard, probably due to Nasdaq selling. So that's why AEM was selling down. But the fundamentals prove that it's strong. Valuation is not high because for growth stocks that every quarter we reporting higher earnings quarter over quarter, the valuation of AEM is actually quite attractive because it's trading like 10 to 13 PE ratio. So if the 5G were to blossom, of course, this counter dealing with 5G chips is going to be beneficial to it. So today you can see a high volume selling. So you can see the volume was pretty high. You see the selling was pretty bad. Now from the chart itself, if I were to look at the weekly chart, seems to be calmer. But on a daily basis, the pullback was quite horrendous, I would say. But the good thing here is if I were to turn on the MAs, you can see that it is trying to hold at the 20 MA. So if we can rebound from here, then we probably see a higher low, and then of course this is going to be a good sign. But if we were to break below, then do expect it to test a 3.34 level. So the important thing to note is the next time around when it rebound. So do take note about this downtrend line where you see that there was a break yesterday, and then when we have the break, right, we start to see that the stocks actually pull back into that resistance levels. This is not a good sign. But then if this counter can counter this selling and then rebound back above the downtrend line, this is going to so-called help itself to redeem from today's selling, and of course whip all the shorties out of the game, where recently the market has been very volatile. So do take note, it start to change its trend. So last night when I was trading BYND, right, I was having a very good profit. It was going up. I long at 148. It went to 162 and going up higher, 163. In a span of 5 minutes, from 11 p.m. to 11:05 p.m., suddenly, boom, it went to 148, back to where my entry was. So I was stunned. So in a 5 minute, how can a stock sell down in such a strong magnitude that, you know, you wipe out all my profit? So without hesitating, I cut out the position at 146.68. There was some issue because Dow was up by 1,700 points. It caused a massive congestions in the US broker, and therefore all the orders got cocked up, and then my order didn't go through. My 148 order didn't go through, and in the end I have to cut at 146. But that was a very small losses. But my point is, when things happen like this, you cannot hesitate and then just hold on. And of course, those who are following US market, BYND now is down 22%. So whether lucky or not, at least I have made my decision and cut up. If not, I will probably be a long-term shareholder and pass it to my grandchildren where they probably have the time to see the counter go back to where I buy. But that was accelerating. So, but then of course, McPlant is coming out. McDonald is coming up. Right. So McDonald is coming up with the what we call the BYN, what we call the BYND meat. Anyway, so you can see all the tech sectors are coming back. So coming back to the tech sectors, we are talking about UMS holding at the MA support. We are talking about HighP, which has broken out strongly yesterday, had a heavy sell down. So I was almost relieved that one of my clients asked me, hey, whether should she take profit on HighP. I said, just take, because why I say just take, because if you look at the magnitude of the upside, it is one straight line up already. So if you expect it to continue, the chances is very low, probably 10% versus 90%. So the 10% could probably propel it by another 5% up, but it is a whopping 24% up. So if you expect higher profit, of course, the chances is you have to pull back first. So you got to stomach the downside and then wait for it to turn around. So HighP, in fact, there's a selling. The good news is the volume is not high, so we can monitor this counter. If the selling stop for the next few days, holding very well at this support at 136, this is going to be one of my highlight in my email. Okay, so we are going to watch this counter, and of course, Valuetronics is slow, so the selling is not as strong as well. But then you can see that it is also above the support level, and of course the selling volume is not high. Right, today. So what we are looking at, the tech sector seems to be okay with slightly lower selling. The volume is not as high, like for example HighP and Valuetronics, but HighP will be one of my focus probably. And then of course UMS, the volume for selling is also not high, and it's holding a support, so we can watch for the next few days how it's going to happen. Now, I'm just to give you a heads up, I'm going to speak until I got cut off suddenly, because I only have a 30 to 40 minute talk time in Zoom. So I probably will be cut off. So if I got cut off, then I'll see you next time. Okay. So let's look at the other sectors that we are going to talk about. So of course, I mentioned a lot of time, if you're following me, like I say, oh, Keppel DC REIT, data center, sexy, but how come today break down and have a high volume, high volume selling some more? So this buffeted me. What's going on? Why? Because the result was good. There's nothing wrong fundamentally. Is this a chance for us to capture this counter at the low, so that for those who have missed this counter throughout the uptrend can have a chance to enter? Now I can see some support here at 2.63 and 2.56. We can actually look at this support level to aim for an entry. Now, of course, this is not the only counter that has a high volume selling. We have this MIT as well, selling badly. Look at the volume. Wow, it's like a switch. You look at the volume for ComfortDelGro and the volume for MIT is like almost the same height. I'm not talking about the absolute value. I'm talking about height. It's like they are selling one side and they buy the other side. So MIT dealing with data center, result was good, dividend good, just give out dividend recently. Right, the support at 299. Right, this probably is a one of the support level that you have to watch. This is one of major support that it has to rebound from. right? And MLT Mapletree Logistic, right, is doing a rights issue. So today also experiencing the heavy selling. Look at the volume here. If I zoom in, then you will be like, wow, what happened? What happened to these counters? In fact, their DPUs, this counter DPU has gone up. DPU means distribution per unit, the amount of money they can distribute to us as a shareholder, right, has gone up, and is going to buy more property accretive, and then it should be going up higher, right, going forward, I believe, because the numbers is going to be good going forward. So this selling could be a opportunity for us to grab some at the low. Okay. For those who are following Ascendas REIT, the counter is going to do rights issue. So probably you can check the announcement, and then we'll know the details when the rights issue is going to come in. They're going to buy more properties as usual. That will be good, because then you can help its growth going forward. The DP is going to get higher. We get more dividend. Okay. So these are the REITs. So I'm pretty surprised where all these REITs had heavy selling, and of course usually when STI up by 95%, you would cheer. Wow, every counter in your list is all green. But how come, right, the counters like SGX, you know, all these counters, why are they having a heavy selling? So this is quite uncharacteristic. So it's not a day that I would cheer for, despite of a 95 points up. So no doubt I have a diversified portfolio. I don't know whether I'm happy or I'm sad, because I have STI ETF. So my STI ETF has just boom went up. My average price is about 2.5 something. Now it's about 2.77. So am I supposed to be happy, or I have to be sad, because today I have to cut out the medical. I have one medical counters in my portfolio, and this medical counter I actually managed to see it went into a profit in the money zone, but unfortunately because of the vaccine, right, today I got to cut. So it broke the support, so today I cut. And those who following, again, I mentioned about potential rebound from here, and it did rebound, but unfortunately today, because of the vaccine, right, we see selling. Let's look at Riverstone. Riverstone I put in my email yesterday, and the unfortunate thing is today, right, because if you look at my email, right, after the bonus issue, actually the counter actually went up, hit resistance, hit my profit target some more, right? For those who have taken profit, congratulations, just in time where you avoided this selling. So for those who having this, keep watchful eyes, because this is a break of support, and a very strong selling candles over here. Okay, so protect your position, limit your risk, so that you can capitalize on the next winning stocks. So do not hold on to any of counter, so that you will miss any chances going forward. Okay, now the final two counters that I am going to talk. So seems like I'm on time. I still have some time. So the final two counters that I'm going to focus on. So when Biden take over the office, many expected certain sector to pick up. Like for example, the climate issue. So Biden will be focusing on the climate. So they will be focusing on those companies that are doing solar panels, those counter that are actually environmental friendly. So this morning I actually highlighted SunPower, which has the been consolidating, forming a formation, what we call a short-term price pattern. So what it needs is another round of breakout. So very similar to breakout like this and a breakout like this. So another white candle like this would help this counter to push it to the target at about 70.5 cents. Now I went through my old posts, and then I realized that actually earlier I have already projected to 72, which is very close to the new projection. Why? Because the earlier projection was due to a cup and handle formation. So this cup and handle formation is actually a very bullish sign that tells us that this counter has a chance to go up. So of course, if I were to use the latest formation to project, then you realize that actually, wow, it confluenced. So it probably increased the chances for some power to go to 72 then. So you know that this counter seems like it wants to form formation before it starts to go up. And this is one of the signs that is taking in order to push the counter higher. So let's take a look on this counter going forward, see whether any breakout with searching volume comes about. Then we have Sembcorp Industry. So those who are following my emails know that I've been posting Sembcorp Industry here and here and here many times. Okay, so now is this the second time, or rather how many times? 1, 2, the third time where it's going to break out and rally again, and this time now where is it going to be? Right, probably it can have another short run towards maybe 186 if we break out again. So today volumes start to pick up. Right, so Sembcorp Industry is one of the counters for us to take note as well. Okay, so if you have any questions, do leave me a note. You have my number. Do leave me a WhatsApp or drop me an email. So for those who any of your friend who is also my client missed this meeting, I have recorded. So probably you can ask me for the recorded version. Okay, so with this, I will see you again next time. And then I'm thinking of certain changes about this Zoom meeting. So I'll update you once I have confirmed these changes. Okay, so with this, good night, and I will see you again in 2 weeks' time. Okay, goodbye.